And just to echo Chad's sentiments, happy International Women's Day, everybody. We have so many great women involved in the sport of standardbred racing, and tonight we're going to catch up with a bunch of them. We're going to catch up with a farrier. We're going to catch up with 3 trainers. We're going to catch up with a bunch of drivers as well. And just because it is International Women's Day, we've spiced things up a little bit as well in the early portion of the program. Race number 2 on the program is the Open Trot, and then race number 3 is the big race itself. It is the International Women's Race with a field of 10 on the pace. My name is Jeff Brett. I've had the privilege throughout the years of working with some fantastic ladies along the way, and one of the best is one of my buddies, and this is Elisa Blow, who is alongside yours truly is bringing you coverage of this International Day program. Let's first of all start off with the conditions for tonight. The wind, I think, is going to be a bit of a factor. But another factor, for the first time in a long time, might be a sunset here tonight. We don't get that all that often until the clock does go an hour ahead.
Yeah, so we were taking a look at it, some of the ladies in the room, and looks like 7:13, somewhere around there will be sunset, which is likely around the time that our ladies will be out on the track. But it's nice to have the sun here, and I don't mind this wind right now because it's able to dry out the track.
Yeah, and no fog whenever it's windy, which is a massive plus too. I must admit, I could have used that extra hour of sleep. I went home last night, couldn't fall asleep. Watched a great movie. Speaking of International Women's Day, I've seen it 1,000 times. Erin Brockovich, which is a fantastic movie. But very much looking forward to the program with everybody here today on Woodbine Racing Live. Now, I have to give you some props. You're playing a little bit hurt tonight.
Yeah, it's just a head cold.
A little bit of a cold.
Just a head cold.
But the good thing is you play tough.
Well, you have to, right?
If we scoped you, though, I don't know if it would have been clean or not.
It's not going to be good. I brought my own Kleenex box to work tonight. So, yeah, I mean, hey, listen, it's the weather. Yeah. And that's the case. We talked about this, too, with some horses that are likely going to suffer from the weather going from extreme cold to extreme heat. They don't handle it the same way, you and I do. And then, of course, you get the allergens in the air as well. Things change, right? But they change in a positive way because we're going to be in for some really nice weather over the next few days before things get back to cool, and that'll start around next Thursday,
Right,
Friday.
I saw that right around the freezing mark for next Thursday here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. But we've been spoiled a little bit. We were spoiled with some great action last night right here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. We had 12 races. It was an extremely formful card, with the exception of one race in which we had a 40-1 upsetter. But other than that, it was extremely formful. Performance of the night might have been Bruno No, and a very quick clocking. But how about the French Connection, Louis Waugh and J.R. Plante? They had a couple of victories on the program.
Yeah, and I think Bruno No really kind of stamped himself as a force to be reckoned with for the new connections. He was a private purchase after the season that he had last year. He came back big, strong. They had to let the hobbles out a couple of inches for him last night as well. And Jeff, I mean, there was no doubt about it that he was going to stamp himself as a horse to watch out for in the upcoming New Holland Series.
And it's not like he had an easy trip early on. They kind of parked him a little bit, took him a while to get to the front, but once he got there, he still won with a lot left in the gas tank, and there are no slouches in behind him. I mean, Jabberwocky's a really, really nice horse who will eventually finish in the second place position. I imagine the New Holland, that horse is going to be pretty tough. I was actually talking with Chad after the race last night, and we're trying to think New Holland's is 2 weeks away, so do they squeeze in another race, or do they wait for the New Hollands?
Good question.
I don't know exactly what the game
plan
is.
They only have one qualifier in them, so I wouldn't be surprised if he has another.
I guess it depends, too, on which races go. Plus, Maneri's got so many for the open category right now, too.
I know.
So do you really want to race them all against one another? Because he's got, potentially
it's Saturday
3
night,
horses
Brew Hanover, this guy now. I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches, isn't it? It's a nice problem to have.
Yeah, Dave Maneri, I'm going to start calling him the LA Dodgers. He just seems to have all-star after all-star in his outfits as well. So let's look at a recap from last night right here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. The wind started to pick up last night and has continued for today, but as Lisa said, that will help the track dry out a little bit. Saw the track maintenance crew finishing touches on the track here for tonight's festivities. So the pick 6 carryover goes race number 4 on the program, $8,100 the carryover there. We're almost at 6 digits for the jackpot high five, Lisa.
Yeah,
we're getting ever so closer in there. So we are now at $92,000 when it comes to that particular wager. But in the first race of the day, it is the case of, do you play the dropper in this spot, our Peaky Blinders, or do you go towards one that was rather good off the bench last time, about that being Ways and Means? And I kind of like Paul McDonough. I still have confidence in Paul if he wants to drive a horse. He's had a tremendous career, but I kind of find right now he's handing the lines over once he gets some race under their belts to James or to Doug, and he's done that here with Ways and Means off that race off the layoff.
Yeah, and Ways and Means, for the first start back off of the rest, had to hook a pretty nice dropper coming in the open,
Yeah.
that being New Rules, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was New Rules' second time trying that class. So we're going to show you the replay just so you can see what they were able to get out of him. And I don't think, they were going guns a-blazing either with him for the first start back of the season. He had just the one qualifier. It was an easy qualifying win. He did that by 12 lengths. And then, now we get a tightener. There's like we talk about this all the time in either breed. A qualifier and a race are completely different, what you can get out of them, obviously. So we're going to get some more air into his lungs here with this event. And I think it just sets him up for a bigger effort here tonight. The concern, of course, is the 6, our Peaky Blinders, but he had a nice, easy trip. He was able to get some clear sailing down the lane as well and pick up that 4th place spot. I'm not necessarily saying he's going to win tonight, but I do think he's a factor for the top 3. I went to our Peaky Blinders, though, and the reason I did that is because Randy has been over our Peaky Blinders in these opens since the horse went back into the opens, which was January the 18th. He kept saying, this guy's going to win, this guy's going to win. And, he had a number of 3rd place efforts there, but you got to love him here tonight in this class instead. So we'll go 6-8, just like everybody else is doing, and use the 5-2 Chick Chock Rose from the Red Hot Maneri outfit coming in off of a 2nd place finish behind New Rules.
So a question for you. Did you put together an early pick
I
5?
did.
Okay. Are you going to key our Peaky
can't
Blinders?
I can't
We're
remember
find
what
out
I
a little bit later
We're going to
on.
surprise ourselves a little later.
Alrighty, yeah, just because I think a lot of people will right now with that 4 to 5 quotation, but I am scared of Ways and Means because I think our Peaky Blinders is going to race good, but Ways and Means is going to race a lot better than last
Well,
week.
and I think, I'm only guessing here, I have a feeling I backed my 6 up with the 8 just in case.
All right, all right. Did somebody tell you that in your ear?
Yeah, maybe.
Little birdie told you? That's okay. That's okay. That's why we have friends. That's why we have friends. Race number 2 on the program is an open trot. We're going to go here for a purse of $40,000. Had a great chat last night with Paige McDonald that we're going to air a little bit later on in the program in regards to Hasty Bid. Coming off a nice win last time out by a head. The problem, Elisa, and it's a good problem to have, is there's no dominant horse in this division right now. They all kind of take turns winning races like this. Our poor buddy, Mr. Bluebird, he just every time gives it everything he's got, and somebody's better on that day. Do you think with the Blue Jays in almost full swing that this Bluebird could get the last chirp on this field?
I sure do. I'm going to be chirping for him. Tonight, I went back to Mr. Bluebird. I know that a few people will probably use Safe Conduct in the top spot since he's had that race back on March the 1st, but I got to stick with a horse that it's kind of the same thing that we were talking about with our Peaky Blinders where Randy kept sticking with him, I got to keep sticking with him because it's going to happen sooner or later. This was the surprise last week, though. We're going to show you last week's open so you can see the contenders that are basically all back in here again tonight. The surprise last week was Hasty Bid. No one, at least as far as the handicappers that we put up selections for on the show, no one had Hasty Bid in their ticket. And I think it was just simply because the horse has been racing kind of so-so as of late. And then he had missed that week because Paige and James were away in Australia. So we weren't 100% sure that he would be, locked in and ready. But he was, and he gave him that trip that he gives him every time he wins. It's just gorgeous. And then I think we were all kicking ourselves afterwards. So a Hasty Bid back here again tonight. Can he put together back-to-back wins in against Open Company? He'll have to face off against others in here like Mr. Bluebird, who was second in behind him last time, like Devil's Arch, who was third in behind him. You went back to Devil's Arch last week. You thought he'd race big. And he made a good account of himself.
Yep. But I went towards Safe Conduct this week.
Yeah.
I think with Safe Conduct, wow, I'm surprised so many of us are picking Safe Conduct. I guess the thinking is we're going to get back to the more aggressive approach that we got with Bobby for back-to-back races on February the 8th and February the 15th. Maybe the 2.5 weeks between races, they took a bit more of a less aggressive approach last time, and we might get a bit of a more aggressive approach here tonight. At least that's kind of my thinking.
Yeah, I just feel like the same as you. It's like a rotating winner circle for this category, and you just got to figure out whose turn it's going to be, and I'm hoping it's Mr. Bluebird's turn.
And it could be. Listen, if any horse on the grounds is deserving of winning this class, it is this guy right here, that being Mr. Bluebird. And you know what, too? I think he might be not that bad of a price.
I agree. And on a day like International Women's Day, I'd like to see Jody Cullen in the winner's circle. Not that we
Yeah.
don't see her in the winner's circle all the time anyway, but it would be special to win the Open here.
We're going to catch up with her coming up a little bit later on the program as well. I'll talk about International Women's Day. The trainer that won the most races in Canada last season.
Good for her.
Unbelievable.
Fantastic.
Let's get to race number 3 now, the International Women's Day race. Now, Lisa and I were talking about this the other day. It's usually a trot, but this year it's going to be pacers in this field. And I'll tell you, from a handicapping point of view, Elisa, they have not made this easy.
Nope.
I mean, I'm picking YYC on the horizon. The problem is this is an absolute stone-cold closer who's not in great form right now. You've got others that might show a little bit of speed here, like a horse like the Colt. That's a possibility. It might show a little bit of early foot in here. And I don't know, like potentially, I think, and I'm talking against what I've done in here, but I wouldn't mind a horse that's involved early on in this race.
Well, I think you got to hit the all button.
I think
really
you do, too.
I
I
really
think
do.
you do,
And
too.
it's not because I'm trying to handicap a driver or trying to handicap a horse. This is just going to all come down to trip.
Yeah,
And the fact, like I said, that the sun could be setting at the time that this race goes, which could flow it, just toss an extra fly into the ointment if that happens to happen for this race as well. But we're going to catch up with all the drivers and talk to them. It's always fun to have them here. And these are girls that we see regularly, most of them. Pam Forgey's having a tremendous season. She's got a really good horse in White Tiger, who she's going to race tonight as well. Wouldn't that be fun to get the double if she was able to win with Captain Highliner and then come back and win with White Tiger? That would be a day you'd never forget. But look at all the different selections, right? You're going to the 3. I'm going to the 6, Redland Wrangler. I saw Anita Let come in just when I was getting myself ready, and I want to ask her too. Now, she did win this race a couple of years ago, right?
Yep.
But
2023.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and it was a trip. That was great. But she's got this horse that she raced last night, Gentle on My Mind.
I love that horse.
Yeah, and he had a horrible draw last
Yeah,
night right
he
from the
raced
10
great.
hole. So I want to get her thoughts on him as to, like, do we go next week? Like, is this the horse to play next week? Because he's been a nice little horse for her outfit.
Certainly has.
The other cool story in this race, though, too, Jeff, is the fact that we have a driver making her very first lifetime drive. And it's hard to believe that that Amy McDonald has never actually driven in a race before because, you know, her last name's McDonald. She's married, of course, to Anthony.
Yep.
She was a co-founder of the stable. You know, we all are. I remember when her and Anthony were putting the stable together, and it was a tremendous undertaking and so much work. You know, and a lot of political work, a lot of work on, you know, with racing in general, and it just what they put together. I think was a really cool program to get new people involved in horse racing at fractional ownership. Like they really will go. That's it. Like if you can say at the end of your career, that's what I did. I brought fractional ownership to the province of Ontario and got all these people involved in horse racing. I mean, that to me is like, that's what I'd celebrate that in my career if that was me who did it. Like, I have something to celebrate in my career that I put together a tiki bar. That's it. You know what I mean? But what they did, I think, is really cool. So she's driving a Cullen horse. She doesn't have the best post tonight, but I wonder just what her nerves are like, too.
My best accomplishment so far is the fact I haven't been gassed yet. 27 years and I haven't been fired yet.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I don't know what he's talking about. I have no idea what he's talking about. You're still here.
I'm still here.
I've gone, I've come back. I've
Yeah,
gone,
that's
I've come
right.
back.
That's
You
right.
know, but yeah, I went to make a tiki bar. But yeah.
You know what, though? I feel a little bit bad for Amy. It's somewhat rookie initiation, I guess, getting post 10, right?
Yeah, I know that part sucks, but you know what? Competing in it is the best. I can
Yeah.
remember like the first time for me competing in the show ring, right? And I don't think I slept for 3 days before. I probably had to take sleeping pills to go to bed the night before it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing it in your head. This is what I think I'm going to do. And then when it's all over, you're like, that's it. It's done.
I remember the first
over so
show I
fast.
did. It was a disaster. If somebody has that tape somewhere,
I
just burn it.
said, Jeff, gets the job done. Probably 20,000
most
times.
overused term.
And you will never, ever hear that come out of my mouth.
Let's get to the fourth race now on the program as we start off the pick six. Carry over here is $8,180.46. We have not tweeted out tickets as of yet, but I have put together a pick six ticket. You put together two pick fives? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay, so those should be on Twitter in the not too distant future. Chad and I have a bit of a bet here. It's
the
gonna be
coffee bet.
Coffee, and I'll go
Yes.
for hot chocolate. So he likes Willie's home run. I'm going towards cover band. And I'm changing shoes tonight. I'm going from flip-flop to steel up front with cover band. The big challenge is, though, he's got to stay flat.
I love Willie, though.
He's
I'm
going
a
to be
big
tough.
fan.
He's going to be tough.
This mare, the way she goes, she's got a style like where she puts her head down,
Yeah.
and you know it's her right away. And I'm excited to see her come back. She's had a couple of qualifiers for the fellows outfit. She was second last start out in her qualifier, but I'm excited to see her come back this evening. I put her up on top because I got faith in Willie, and then I'll use Cover Band, who gets onto the Lasix program here. So you get an uncharacteristic break from her back on February the 8th. Then he takes some time off, comes back to the races February the 22nd, and took a lot of money that day and was very lackluster. So again, makes you kind of wonder. Now the horse is on the Lasix program, so you've gone towards that one. But I thought even the 8 had a legit shot here too. My friend Jose,
Yeah, absolutely.
very, very well prepped by Herb Holland to get that win off of the rest on February the 22nd, and got interfered with last start out, so has an excuse.
Woo! I'm lone wolfing it. Woo, 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 woo. I got the 2 as my top pick in there, but a lot of people are with you there with Willie's home run. It was on the qualifying report that Chad gave us as well. So definitely one that will be very tough to beat. And the Kyle Fellows Barn had a good night on last evening's
Hey,
program
and
as
by the
well.
way, she's the lone mare in the bunch. So on International Women's Day, go,
now,
Willie, go.
Tell me that isn't a hunch play right there. You got that right. That's a good insight there for race number 4. Let's get to the 5th now on the day. This is a pop-up series final in here. And I disagree with the morning line odds in this race. I think I like the rider, and I think the rider might go off as the favorite in this race. And the horse is 8-1 on the line. But you have a lot of horses that like sort of this closing style, like a Cheddar Bay used that style last time out. The replay horse that you're going to focus in on in here, this being Winchester Phoenix, another horse that likes to come from off the pace.
I have 2 replays that I want to show you. The first one is Winchester Phoenix. So last start out, that was the first time I think we saw Louis Waugh get in behind this one, at least in a while. I didn't look up the horse on track to see if he ever drove the horse in the past, but still. He gets in behind this horse, and watch this closing kick, because from here, when you watch it, you're thinking, well, I'm basically going to be a victim of circumstance. Like, you've got 4 horses, 3 horses up in front of you, don't really have a lot of room on the outside. So what does he do? He swings to the far outside, and he's able to actually pick up a second place effort from that position. Like, when he turned for home, if you told me he was going to finish second, I'd be like, I don't see how that's going to happen. But he had to go to the outside of the racetrack to get it done, and he did. So I love that start from him. I think it's awfully encouraging, and the fact that Louis back in the bike again tonight with Winchester Phoenix gives me a vote of confidence. I put him in the 3rd spot here because I do think Stone Carver is going to be tough. I've seen some great races from Stone Carver over the years. Some of the best races I've seen from him are when you put him right up on the chooch and he just keeps on going. The other replay I want to show you is the 8, and that's Hazy Coast. Okay, so this is a horse who had a troubled trip. This is back on March the 1st. You had Travis Cullen doing the driving, so we'll watch for Travis. And he's easy to spot with this gray Son of All Bets Off. This horse has had 1 win this season. It was here, I believe, in pop-up action back on February the 1st. And, Randy has been good with me, talking about this horse. We've kind of given him a bit of a name called Lazy Coast, because we think he might be a bit lazy. But he has no excuse, or he has many excuses here, because there wasn't really anywhere to go.
You liked this horse last week.
I
didn't you?
did like
Yeah.
him, because I think he was coming off of a troubled trip the start before that. I mean, he's just he's a neat horse. He just needs a little bit of racing luck tonight, and I hope that he's able to crack the top 4 here this evening. But I think, if memory serves me correct, that February the 22nd race, he got himself into a little bit of a jackpot
I think
too.
you're right.
So a couple of troubled trips as of late. A clean trip at least puts him in the top 4. I'm way off of the selections from everybody else on the ticket tonight. I didn't use the 6, Cheddar Bay. I did not use the 1, the Rider. But like I said, I've seen some great races from Stone Carver over the years where he just goes straight to the front and you can't catch him.
The great news is this is a highly competitive event, right? The last pop-up race we had, Seclusion was the heavy favorite, lost the second choice, who was almost the favorite, right? So, in this race, you're not going to have an 8-5, 7-5, at least you shouldn't, coming up in race number 5, and that will wrap up the pick 5, and obviously this is part of the pick 6 sequence as well. Let's press the fast forward button a little bit. Let's get to race number 9 now, which will start off the late double here tonight. 9th race on the program's got a field of 8. You and I were both very, very reluctant to pick Job Hunter back on March the 1st because of the big drop. And she didn't race all that great. Then she goes to Flammy and she loses at even money yet again. So I'm going to try and beat her all day long here today. How about our buddy Kenny Middleton pulling off the big upset with Pretty Missy May at 16-1 last time out? Do you think she could repeat in here?
Well, speaking of big prices, I remember when Stay Pumped won for Dean Nixon too, and that horse was almost 60-1 back on February the 15th. I don't know. I'm not. Look, Kenny's mare had a great race last start out. I just wonder if she can put together back-to-back big efforts. She's just starting to kind of get rolling again this season. Look, I'm a sucker. I went back to Job Hunter. The horse has had another race, and you see that. You know, we don't see that over on the runner's side, but you see that here. Raced on March the 1st, then went to Flamborough, raced there to finish 6th, and then comes back here tonight. So has had a bit of a busy campaign, but I gotta hope that's by design. James McDonald is going to take the lines again. That gives me a little bit of confidence. Stay Pumped, the Nixon horse with Dougie driving tonight. That's an interesting move. And the 5, First Philly Chip. They are changing a lot of equipment with her here this evening. She was second last start out and behind Kenny's mare. She could be a player too.
Job Hunter's the horse to beat. I mean, she's at her best, demolishes this field, but she's struggling right now. But maybe the busy schedule might keep her happy right now at this point of the proceedings. And they do get King James back in the driver's seat here tonight to start off the late double. Let's get to race number 10 now on the program. Jackpot High Five carryover of $92,687. The 8 Thigh Tour extends the hobbles just an inch, as opposed to our boy Bruno last night. 2 inches. That's crazy, and looked great doing it. And Gypsy Joe side rolls to a blind bridle coming up in here. So let's fire up the replay machine and talk about Thigh Tour. You're kind of all over this Mike Horner barn here tonight.
Yeah, and I remember when this horse raced last week, I kind of said to you, put a star beside him, because that was his first start back here at Woodbine after competing at Western Fair. And the races at Western Fair are just kind of so-so. But last week with Dougie driving him, he took a lot of money. And I thought we got a really big effort. I mean, he almost won this race. So watch Doug. He's on the outside here. The inside is Stone Carver. So that's Stone Carver's the 6th in this spot because Trevor's driving him on this night. But Thigh Tour, I think, makes a really good impression coming here for this pop-up consolation. The fact that Dougie's back with them again tonight, I wonder if maybe after the race they had a little bit of a powwow and said to each other, you know what, let's let these hobbles out on this horse. You know, that happens, right? There's conversation between driver and trainer with advice, suggestions, take it or leave it, that sort of a thing. He races a heck of a race here. I mean, he's really just beat a whisker head to Stone Carver. But as far as a consolation for a pop-up is concerned, I think he's a player. So I use the 8. Lots of other people use the 8. I use the 5, the Ron McDonald horse, because I'm not going to leave any Ron McDonald horses off of my ticket. And the Fellows Barn, I included that as well as they send out Salzburg Ian.
Yeah, Salzburg Ian had a rough journey last time out, and eventually succumbed to that to finish in the 5th place spot. So this is the consolation of the pop-up series. Goes as race number 10 on the program, and we do have a field of 10 that will duke it out in that event. Jackpot High Five. If it does not go tonight, I imagine the carryover tomorrow night will be at 6 figures.
Ooh, sounds like I'm putting together a Jackpot High Five ticket.
Some serious coinage in there. We've got plays of the night. We've got multiple lake tickets to talk about. You name it, we've gotten here. Let's talk a little tickets, shall we?
Okay. I sent in an early pick 5 and a late pick 5, and I know that the issue for me was this ladies' race because I wanted to make sure I hit the all button in that one. So let's see what we got here. Here is the early pick 5, and this is how I managed to do it for $60. So I backed myself up with the 8, ways and means, just in case, because I don't want Paul to knock me out right away. So I'll go 6 and 8. And then in race number 2, I'm using the 1, the 4, and the 7. So that's Safe Conduct, Tasty Bid, Mr. Bluebird. I think I got them covered. Hitting the all button with the ladies. Give me a long shot. Somebody bring home a horse at a big price. That would be awesome. And then I have 2 keys because that was the only way, Jeff, to make it, you know, a reasonable price if you want to play it for 20 cents. So I keyed Willie on the return, Girl Power, and I keyed Stone Carver in race number 5 with James taking over here tonight. So that's the way I was able to do it, to get it at a I guess a better price than being in the hundreds.
That's $12 for 20 cents.
That's fine.
Too bad.
That's totally fine. What do you got?
I'm going to pick 6 in here, and here's a look at how I see it in here. And I did not find a key until race number 7 on the program, and I think this is, I don't want to say a free bingo square, but I'd be very surprised if Tell It Russ and Tell It's not able to repeat. Remember they dropped last week and nobody took the horse and they're right back in yet again. So I'm going to use 3 in the 4th race, 2, 5 in the 8th. The 5th, I've got the 1 in the 6th, the Rider and Cheddar Bay. And the 6th, I've got White Tiger, All Gas, No Brakes. I would have had my buddy Sam in there, but with that horse being scratched, I did toss in All Gas, No Brakes. In the 8th, I've got the 6 and the 7, Southwind, Sambuca, and Stormalong. And then the 9th, I've got the 3 and the 5, which segues us to the late pick 5 that Elisa has put together in here. Let's see how much she's spending in this.
I'm hitting the all button again.
Again in race
yeah,
number 8.
I am. Okay, so 6th race, we're going with White Tiger. Come on, Pam. I want her to win the big race and then win this one. That'd be awesome. Then I got All Gas, No Brakes and the 9 Crystal Baller. I did key Tell It Russ, Tell It. I hit the all button in race number 8 because we're looking at nominators of $1,000 in their last 4. So, anybody could pop up and do it. Race number 9, I've keyed the 8 Job Hunter, and race number 10, I went with the 5 and the 8. I feel a little bit better about my first pick 5.
Which means we'll get the second.
Yeah, but I still, if I have to hit the all button, you have to have singles in order to keep it affordable.
No question. I mean, we don't get paid till week Friday.
Yeah, we got a while to go.
Yeah,
and I think I'm going to be stocking up on Kleenex and Sudafed for the next little
with the
bit.
price of gas, I might be walking to work soon.
Yeah, you might got to get that bicycle out.
I know. The price, I feel bad for all the trucks that bring trailers and
I gotta
taking
tell you,
diesel.
I have already seen today, and I was just talking about this, I have already seen today from a number of shippers, people who ship horses for a living, that they're going to have to raise the price of shipping. And look, they don't want to, but they just can't absorb the cost.
I get it. I get it. Let's take a look at our plays of the night, shall we? And you are going to bat lead off. My plays of the night tonight, Elisa, are rather unique.
Okay.
That's my segue, but you go first.
I'm always excited to hear what you've got. So come on, Willie. I got her with the welcome back for race number 4. This horse is out, my buddy Sam. And now that we know he's lame, that's something you're going to want to keep in mind. I was hoping Job Hunter could be a key for the late double, and I really liked what I saw from Tide Tour last week, so I got him in race number 10.
Okay, are you ready for my
I'm
plays
ready.
today?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Oh, all ones.
All the numero unos. Safe Conduct, the Rider, White Tiger, Tell It, Russ, Tell It.
I like it.
Yeah, so, and I've always been a big fan of White Tiger, and I think it's in a real good spot today. I don't
Especially
love the
with the
rail.
scratch.
Yeah, I don't love the rail here at Woodbine Milwaukee Park, but I like these horses.
You don't like the rail, but yet you picked 4 rail horses.
I know. I need some clear help. Let's take a look at what our good friends Ghislaine Garnett
Oh, they
and
have
Kevin
all ones
Plowsha.
too.
Wow.
Look at that. That's something you don't see very often.
And they're all mine.
All you dudes all picked number 1 tonight.
Us guys sticking together on International Women's Day. Yeah, look at that. Hey, Tell It, Russ, Tell It. White Tiger is the spot play for Garnett, and the Rider, that's where Ghislaine is going to go.
Did you guys have lunch together and decide you were all going to pick the same horses?
We did. Yeah, we have a group chat.
Yeah.
And we banter back and forth trying to figure out things, which probably means that all the ones will finish up the track tonight. But we'll see what happens. In terms of post times, just want to let everybody know that starting next Friday, post time has been pushed back to 6:30, which means the race will probably get underway after 6:40 at some point. But do make that adjustment, and you can do your handicapping then, and the pregame show will get pushed back to 5:45.
Speaking of that, I was just taking a look at our schedule. So for us, like for commentators, we get a schedule maybe 2 weeks out. So they only have to tolerate us 2 for 1 more week, and then Mr. Waples is back.
Yeah, and I'm only here for 2 days next week.
Yeah, and then you're on vacation.
Yeah, I'm only here, when am I here next week? Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, and then it's little old me all by myself again for a couple of days, and then Randy comes home. So that'll be exciting.
Here's the thing about Randy, though. Randy has been watching more intently on vacation than when he's here.
Oh, I know. Phone lights up all the time. Mark that horse for next start out.
Yeah. Tough trip on that one, but we love it. It's great. And I'm curious, when Randy comes back, if Randy was more technically savvy, I would get him to do this, to take a video of this, but he's remodeling a bathroom. And he's like Tim the Toolman Taylor right now.
Maybe.
So he's trying to watch YouTube to try and figure things out a little bit. So I want to know, A, if there's any leaks.
Yes.
If anything like has maybe like...
Does the hot water come out of the cold tap?
If the toilet doesn't flush.
Yeah.
Like just stuff like that. So I want to live
He's not the guy I'd call to renovate my bathroom. Well, not the first guy I'd call.
Okay, here's a trivia question for you before we let you go. Speaking of home improvements, what was the guy's name that you never saw his face?
Oh, the neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember. Walter?
I
Ted?
think it was Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you
I
got
think
it.
it was Wilson. Whenever I think of Wilson, I think of that movie with Tom Hanks. Wilson.
Yes.
Anyways, that's it. We've gone off the rails, as usual. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get you all set for race number 1. Chad will have a look at the field on post-parade, and that's going to be a special day where we celebrate the ladies here on International Women's Day at Woodbine Mohawk Park.